Welcome back to the channel. I'm out here today trying to figure out what the deal is, what the brake issue is on this Plymouth-Valiant here. I think I found out the problem. Monday I went through the car front to back, rechecked everything, and yeah, I already know it. In Uncle Tony's live the other night, I already explained to him, but you can only write so much for each comment. They only give you so much room for each comment posted. I don't know why YouTube does that, but anyway, everything he explained to me, I don't know if he was acting like I was a 2-year-old or just trying to be helpful or what, but anyway, everything he described, the situation, I explained to him what was happening with the brakes and what I've done with the brakes, and that they were feeling spongy and all that crap. He had me go through all the stuff, and he says that he doesn't bench bleed the master cylinders. He gravity bleeds them, all that stuff. Well, I do a little bit of both. I'll gravity bleed it, but then I still have to bolt it up. You can either plug off the ports coming to where the brake lines go and add your fluid and pump the bubbles out of the master cylinder, or you can take the brake lines, buy a separate brake line, a couple brake lines, bend the tubes so where they go back down deep into the bowl on each reservoir of the master cylinder, and you can bleed them that way. And you just need to have somebody pump the brakes for you. I recommend putting a cloth over the top so it doesn't squirt up and get all over everything. But anyway, so today I came out here, I couldn't find a single leak on the brake system. I rechecked, I tore each corner of the brakes down all the way down to the cylinder. I even checked the internals of the cylinders and there was no leaks. So we re-bled the brake system, and we were still kind of having an issue. And then today when I got home, I started with the let's see here. There we go. Started with this one. I unscrewed this one just enough, and I had my mom help me. I had her slowly press down on there. We did hear a tiny bit of air, and then it started draining fluid pretty good. Tighten that one back up. She said the pedal got pretty stiff. And then we did this one over here. Same thing. Got better. And then it seemed like somebody let off the brakes, and I got in there and tried the brakes. They were fine, and started the car up to try to move it forward, put on the brakes. And then the brakes seemed to get spongy again. We couldn't ever figure out why. Well, we're pretty sure this is the problem, and we're going to redo the bleeding again after we get you see that right there? Made in China. Okay. We bought this Brake Best master cylinder, all aluminum construction. It seems to work fine for actually being a Chinese product, but here's the problem. This is why you save all your spare parts. Where is the original? Here's the original master cylinder. I forgot I set it down inside the car. All right. This also shaved off about 10-15 pounds off the car too, because this is, but anyway, you see right back here, I don't know, I can't really see that, this factory plate that goes all the way around requires 2 bolts to hold the guts in, the springs and everything. Make sure you save all this type of stuff like I did. You can save the lids and all that stuff. Well, here's the problem. We think the air's getting back in there. Give me a minute to lay down in here and I'll show you. Oh, I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, this thing right here, this is what came on the new master cylinder. The super thin, skimpy, easily to bend teardrop retainer. And did you notice anything? Let me see if I can pan in on this. The back of the spring stuff is already sticking out about 1/8 of an inch, if not a little bit more. This tab is already bent backwards. So this is how it's probably allowing air to get into the system right here. I know it's not really focused that well, but there we go. But anyway, that's, here, I'll push down on the pedal. See how much See how much that's coming out? That's not supposed to come out past the firewall. So give me a few and I'll have all this popped off of here, and I'll put that correct bracket on there and get rid of this thing. Okay, so as you can see, transferred that factory retainer plate to the back of the master cylinder with the 2 bolts. And then I had to also, the other thing I found out, I bought this aftermarket spring from Menards in our hardware section at work. And then I had to measure and take a section of it off. And now the brakes are real stiff, which is good, which is what you want to stop. It's not spongy. So hold on just a minute here. I have to put the nut back on that, and then we're going to test the brakes while I'm recording this video. Okay, so here's that piece I was telling you about that came on the master cylinder from out of the box. As you can tell, it's a weak piece of metal washer that bends real easy, and this is what was holding that in there from when we got it out of the box. And just a little bit of pressure that we put, the pedal coming back, the spring tension, I started bending that. As soon as I put that factory bracket or hold down piece back on there, the brakes started doing what they're supposed to be doing. And so let's see here. We're gonna recheck something here real quick. Okay. There we go. We focused it. Oh yeah. Of course, keep in mind the brake shoes have still got to be broke in, but we wanted the actual problem fixed. I got to still adjust this shifter cable a little bit more, fine tune it. I also got to put some transmission fluid in the transmission tomorrow too. I'm off tomorrow. Yep, got brakes. We will bleed them one more time just to be on the safe side now after we got the problem fixed. Just to make sure there's no error in the lines. Sorry. So, anyway. And then I also got the that little piece of 5/8 heater hose situation fixed between the water pump and the block that somehow I managed to overlook with all the weather and work schedule and trying to work on this and getting in a hurry and then stopping for a while and then forgetting about. So that's the only thing that I forgot, but that's all fixed. We got the coolant in there now, and that's pretty much it. I think we're going to try to move the vehicles out of the way, and then we're going to attempt, after we finish bleeding the brakes one more time, we're going to attempt to back the vehicle out and drive it up. We're not going to go down the street down here. It's kind of at an angle, but it's all flat up there. It goes clear up to the 3-way intersection. It's flat. We're going to do that and then go from there to see how the brakes are doing. But all right, that's about it for this video. And remember the few videos back I showed you I bought them square little angle iron or angle rod stands that come underneath the stacks of the chairs at work. I bought 2 of them. I said I was going to put them together and then reinforce them and make a engine run stand for it from that slant 6 with the transmission back there. Well, today at work I stumbled across one that's already been welded together, and then what I'm just going to do is reinforce it with box tubing and then set up the stuff that needs to be set up to run the motor mounts and where I can mount up the transmission cross member. But anyway, so we can get that, make sure that slant 6 stays up off the ground, and I'm gonna get rid of the little cheap little casters wheels that are on it and put some heavy duty non-inflatable tires on it so I can move it around wherever I need to, and it'll be up off the ground. The motor and tranny and all that'll be up off the ground. And so anyway, one thing at a time. We've already had about 2 days solid worth of rain, and it just stopped before I got home, kind of cleared up, and then I guess we got maybe 2 more days of rain again, and then it's supposed to be back to nice weather again. So let's pray that we get more dry days, because I got to get a lot of this other stuff finished. But anyway, until next time.